Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to We the Revolution, a narrative adventure game, or narrative video game, rather. You can sort of debate whether it's an adventure game or not. So we'll just go with narrative video game. Which casts you in the role of a judge on the revolutionary tribunal during the French Revolution. Now, in the last episode, we wrote history. We sent Louis XVI off to the guillotine. And we are still dealing with the ramifications of that decision, as we are about to embark upon a new case today. So let's have a look. I think that might be Miss Elliot, who's one of the characters we saw in the character gallery. Also famous from the Scarlet Pimpernel. Well, no, actually, don't think it is quite her. But we have Marat as a new character. Nicknamed the Conscience of the Nation, he is the editor of the self-published newspaper Friend of the People. Disliked by the Girondins, tolerated as necessary evil by the Jacobins, he can smell the dirt on a person's hands better than a trained pig smells truffles. He does not shy away from publishing denunciations brought to him by fellow convention members in an attempt to undermine the credibility of their political adversaries. Now, he was not a very sympathetic man, Marat, and he also did not come to a particularly sympathetic end, if you remember a painting from the French Revolution that features him fairly prominently. Anyways, let's check the case of who we have on the docket then, since it is not Miss Elliot. Anne de Koff, 67, is a widow who currently owns an enormous fortune that she inherited from her late husband, Baron de Clichy. Before the Revolution, she was one of Marie Antoinette's trusted courtiers. After the events in 1789, she cut ties with the court. However, she recently became a frequent guest at the Tuileries, where the Capets were being kept. She also took part in Count de Fersen's scheme to facilitate the escape of the monarchs from the Tuileries. Following de Fersen's orders, de Koff supposedly bought a new carriage in her own name. The purchase of a Berline carriage for 6 passengers, sufficient to carry the Capets from Paris, was made at Jean-Louis's workshop. The valet of the Baroness, Gilbert, testified that the carriage was delivered to the Count shortly before the escape. It is widely known that de Fersen himself, dressed as a coachman, drove the carriage as far as Bondy. Interestingly enough, when the monarchs were stopped in Varennes, Marie Antoinette had a newly issued passport under the name of Anne de Koff, which she was using during the trip. The streets of Paris are humming with gossip. They say that Anne helped the Count, not because of her sympathy towards the monarchs, but because of an affair they had in the past, and the elderly aristocrat's unquenchable desire. Evidence: a receipt produced by Jean-Louis. This would be the receipt then. Dear Baroness, the custom Berline carriage you ordered is ready. Your instructions have been attentively followed to the letter. Please pay the outstanding 70,000 francs through Durand. In faith, JL. Okay, the people are currently calm. We do have a tight window for this, probably. Both the people and the revolutionaries want the death penalty. Let's see, what questions do we need to figure out for the report? Rag was counter-revolutionary. They founded with Marie Antoinette. And yes, I'm going to say it was. I mean, unfortunately, she's going to get sent off to the guillotine. There's just no getting around it, really. So let's start sorting out the questions. Receipt. That is evidence. It goes to our personality, so does search. That she was trusted goes to her personality, I would say. Gave us all the questions, no mistakes, that's pretty good. Okay, let's start the interrogation then. We need to figure out who had the carriage, right? Yeah, who was using her vehicle. Supporter of tyranny! There's only that one guy on the back bench. That's pretty funny to me. Please, introduce yourself. Baroness Endekov. Endekov, you have been accused of conspiring to facilitate the escape of the Capets from France. Do you plead guilty? Monsieur le Juge, there has been a misunderstanding. I had nothing to do with that. The evidence speaks against the accused. That is impossible. Okay, let's start. Yeah, her passport. How is it possible that the defendant's passport was being held by Marie Antoinette? It was stolen from my apartment. It must have been Count de Fersen. And of course, you immediately reported the theft. I ordered my valet Gilbert to do that. How interesting that the Parisian police received no such claim. I do not know what to say. I have no idea why Gilbert did not follow my order. And the citizen did not see that it was done. I am a rather busy person. It must have slipped my mind. Those filthy aristocrats are really hard working, aren't they? How many carriages are in the defendant's coach house? If I remember correctly, 3. We can't remember the last time we had meat, and she doesn't know how many carriages she owns. Then why would you order another carriage in Jean-Louis' workshop? Does a lonely widow really need a 4th carriage? Because my wealth allowed it, Monsieur le Juge. Since when is spending money on feminine caprices a crime? It is when those caprices serve Count de Fersen's conspiracy. We know that he instructed you to buy it. Nonsense! I ordered it for my own trip to Montmedy. Could you describe the carriage you ordered from Jean-Louis? It was a luxurious berline, painted green and yellow. The Capets attempted to escape in a carriage that exactly matches this description. Where is the carriage now? I swear that I had nothing to do with the escape of Louis and his wife from the Tuileries. Answer the question. I lent it to Count de Fersen. And I swear on all that is sacred, I did not know the scoundrel's true intention. You think anyone will believe that? What did the accused think he was going to use it for? He said that it would be used by the Swedish ambassador. Why should I have disbelieved the Count? I mean, it does sort of seem to me like she was being played, but yeah, I mean, we can't really let her off. Why would the accused visit the Capets in the Tuileries? The visit was purely social. As an elderly person, I struggle with loneliness in Paris. That is more strange considering that the accused severed relations with the royal court when the revolution began. I wish to see all the people I met in Versailles before I die. Is that so wrong? Was it during the visit that you handed Marie Antoinette your passport? Absolutely not. There was a guard who would not look away even for a second. Those terrible people never leave her side, the poor, anguished woman. And yet, by some miracle, your passport still found its way to her. I had nothing to do with it. Why would a lonely woman need a carriage for as many as 6 passengers? Because a lonely woman wants to travel with company. There are still some people I can invite. Or you could plan to help the royal family of exactly 6 people in their escape. I am not the only person in this city who owns a Berline carriage for 6 people, Monsieur le Juge. But the other owners are not plotting against the state. Perhaps not with the use of carriages. True, we're surrounded by serpents. That was maybe not the best answer you could have come up with there. Anne. What does the accused think about the monarchy? I do not know much about politics, but I support the revolution, if that is what you are asking, Monsieur le Juge. Is that why you left the court? That is a completely different story and not related to politics at all. What was it related to? I heard some ridiculous accusations of a small scandal involving me and the Maire General. Did the defendant, despite those circumstances, maintain good relations with Citizen Capet's wife? Good enough to help her? I could only pray for her. At my age, one does not have enough strength for conspiracies. Yeah, that's gonna be enough, because if we ask any more, we're gonna cross over the threshold of public opinion outside. And we don't want that. That was the Swedish ambassador. It's gonna be the death penalty, I'm afraid. Lady Tukov. Fidel. And Stamp. I sentence Citizen Antikov to be guillotined. Lead the condemned out. That's how all Capet's followers will end up. Bravo! It gave us 1 influence and 1 reputation. My name is Jean-Marie Roland. My name should not be unknown to you. After all, you wiped your shoes on it during King Louis's trial. Citizen Capet, not king. King Louis-Auguste Bourbon, Duc de Berry. Thanks to you flinging around half-truths and speculation, everyone is calling for my head, accusing me of corruption and treason, while you use our backs as a stepladder on your way up the social hierarchy. Corrupting politicians does not always work out. Danton does it. Movie does it. Movie tried to, but they caught you. Happens. It will probably be I will probably be dismissed from my station. I may even end up at the guillotine, but I will make sure your head rolls right after mine. You will be my comrade in misery. Threatening a judge of the tribunal is an even worse idea than supporting a despised king and corrupting politicians of the convention. I will get rid of your candidate for captain of the guard. Then I will go after you. It took me and my wife too long to get to where we are. I will not die because of some overboozed maggot that likes to call himself a judge. You will see how we wage war in Paris salons, you treacherous mongrel. Alright, let's give our speech. Try that manipulation there. No opinion. It seems that would be aggressive, maybe. Especially when we talk about the revolution. Anyone stepping outside the boundaries of revolutionary law has only themselves to blame. Only themselves. These offenders want to go back to the old ways. They defend them. Only death awaits the enemies of France. Why do you want to kill me? You do not have any evidence. For the revolution! Adieu, Madame de Kolf. Dear comrade, I heard the news of Minister Roland's unexpected visit. I have to confess that Roland knows about me something that he should not have. I am certain that he is already weaving an intrigue against us. We have to start working on one against him, François Henriot. Play something for me, son. I have work to do. As you wish, father. Okay, let's see. We can support construction of the statue. Increases the rate at which the statue is constructed, but that's gonna debuff all of our family. Work on tomorrow's trial, debuff all of our family. Difficult times create even more difficult childhoods. We cannot give these children their parents back, but we can give them some hope. That raises the spirits of everyone in the family. Seems like that would be the... There's nothing like sitting with your family and a good book next to a warm fire, even though some may think it is dull. I mean, it seems to be the obvious choice. Enemy agents. Enemy agents will fight with your agents for territory. They can take over sections or neutral sections. Your sections or neutral sections. When at least 2 hostile agents meet in one section, combat ensues. Remember that a diplomat has little chance against a brutal fighter. After a defeat in combat, your agent becomes injured. They can still move around, but are not able to perform any actions. Your main section is vital. The buildings here enable you to influence the rest of the game. Protect it at all costs. If you let it out of your grasp, you will lose the game. So we should move him back to defend. And then move our diplomat to scout. And we have intrigues. Intrigue, Jean-Marie Roland. The documents discovered in Capet's iron cabinet raise suspicions regarding Roland. The minister hates the tribunal for openly ridiculing him, and he will not forgive you for it. His intelligent wife holds an even stronger grudge. We need 3 successes to win, 5 for a bonus. Action blocks. Perform actions correctly to fill the progress bar. If you carry out too few, you will lose. If you perform more than necessary, you will receive a bonus. Okay, so the bar is there. Convincing a witness. So far, there are only rumors that Roland destroyed the documents. If we find someone from his social circle to corroborate this, we would gain a powerful tool. We have a potential candidate. Philippe Code was among the people who opened Capet's iron cabinet. Code. Yeah, Code would be... Côté? Côté, yeah. would be the Philippe Côté would be the right pronunciation, I think. For an action to be successful, you need to persuade the required number of people. You can also send your diplomat to do it for you. Remember, you can only do this while the block is active. So that requires 2 influence points. That's too much, I think. It does have a 70% chance of success, but I think that's a little expensive. Let's try and convince him. Thank you for coming, Citizen Côté. How could I say no to a person who holds the lives of kings in the palm of his hand? I presume that our meeting is connected to Minister Roland. Exactly. I would like to talk about the incident with the Iron Cabinet. It is indeed rather ugly. The minister could lose his head because of it, although it is currently nothing more than gossip. But yes, but what if the gossip suddenly turned into the truth? Then things would certainly get nasty. Okay, I'm gonna try there. Maybe try with humility there. Okay, so carelessness is not the right answer there. Okay, let's try it. So I'm gonna go 2 manipulation, I think, and 1 humility. I need Roland's head. His days are numbered. Anyway, so to ease the pain of Parisians and France, let us just accelerate his fall. Roland has his vices, but are they enough to justify my betrayal? Because that is what you ask of me. Minister Roland will not save you when matters become troublesome. I can save you. From charges of complicity, for example. I believe that you are a man of reason, Citizen Côté. Listen to it telling you that you do not want to pay for Roland's mistakes, and I do not want to make you pay for them. I will help you and testify against him. Let us see where this leads, but hopefully to my head staying on my neck, as you promised. Well, nice. We managed it. That's pretty cool. Some actions may require you to make decisions about tactics. Each decision may have a different chance of success. When Roland recognized the contents of the Iron Cabinet, he allegedly asked for a moment of privacy and was left alone with the evidence. In light of Citizen Capet being accused of conspiracy and the lack of evidence, we could try accusing the minister of destroying it. Côté confirming these sensational details would surely help. I mean, 10% only is... We only have 10% success rate, man. That's not good. A few casual remarks made by the respected Jacques-Louis David should unleash an avalanche. Court guard Raphael Clovy, your loyal subordinate, will have to talk some sense into a few heads so they realize how big a threat Roland is. Or is it that it's boosted by 10%? I don't know. I mean, it seems like I'm forced to do this, but it seems like there's only a 10% success chance here. Intrigues are carried out in a matter of days. The results of some action blocks may only be seen the next day. No, 100%, okay. Well, I mean, that was really odd and a little misleading to me, the way that was displayed. Okay. It seems like we can't build, I don't know, 0%. So I don't know how we increase the daily rate of constructing the statue. That is not very well explained. Okay, so the enemy has control over that district, it looks like. Don't know how you take over districts either. That isn't really well explained either. Well, okay, let's end the day then. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. There were a bunch of new elements in this episode that got introduced, so it seems a pretty good point at which to stop it for today. Thanks for watching and for continuing to follow along the adventures of or the tale of Alexis Fidel, judge and drunkard in the Revolutionary Tribunal, or on the Revolutionary Tribunal. And I hope you'll join us for the next part as we continue to conspire against Roland and try and get Henriot appointed as commander of the Guard, National Guard. Anyways, please, thanks again for watching, and please take care. Be safe out there. Bye bye.